It is with a deep sense of esteem that I welcome you to this annual general meeting of the Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana. Each year, this convocation stands as more than a professional assembly to usher in the new legal year. It is a renewal of our common vocation to the administration of justice, entrusted to us under the Constitution as a sacred trust in the name of the people of Ghana. Though I have recently retired as a Justice of the Supreme Court, my bond with this association and with our calling remains unbroken. For the judicial office is not merely a station one occupies, it is a lifelong vocation, anchored in fidelity to the rule of law, devotion to constitutional order, and unwavering service to the sovereign people whose will and welfare are the very source of judicial authority. The theme chosen for this year's meeting, leveraging technology to enhance justice delivery, speaks directly to our constitutional charge. Article 125 of the 1992 Constitution vests the judicial power of Ghana in us and commands that we exercise it in the name of the people. The solemn mandate is not fulfilled by form alone. It is vindicated only when justice is dispensed without unreasonable delay, when the doors of the courts are open to all without discrimination, and when the citizen, whether great or small, can trust that the law is both accessible and effective. We must acknowledge that delay in justice, for the vulnerable especially, can amount to its denial. Inefficiency, opacity, or exclusion in judicial process erodes not only public trust, but the very sovereignty of the people from whom our authority is derived. It is here that technology presents itself not as a luxury, but as a constitutional necessity, an instrument through which we may better realize the guarantees of fairness, equality, and access to justice enshrined in Chapter 5 of our Constitution. Technology, when embraced thoughtfully, can be a powerful ally in addressing many of the challenges we face, from reducing delays and case backlogs to improving efficiency and transparency, and above all, in widening access to justice for the people we serve. The COVID-19 pandemic was a crucible in this regard. In those months of uncertainty, technology preserved the work of the courts and ensured that the constitutional promise of justice did not falter. That experience was a warning and a lesson that we cannot rest content with tradition alone, however venerable, but must continually adapt the administration of justice to meet the realities of our time. Our task, however, is twofold. While embracing innovation, we must guard jealously the enduring values of judicial service, integrity, accountability, and independence. Technology must never compromise impartiality or diminish the dignity of our courts. Rather, it must become a faithful servant of justice, extending its reach, clarifying its processes, and reinforcing the public's trust. As we deliberate on this theme, let us be guided by the principle that the law is not static, but living, and that the judicial oath binds us to interpret, apply, and administer it with both fidelity and foresight. Tradition gives us roots, but progress gives us branches, and both are necessary if justice is to flourish. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, The future of justice delivery in Ghana will be measured by our ability to adapt wisely, to innovate prudently, and to govern technology with principle. In doing so, we shall not only strengthen the efficiency of our courts, but also fortify the very foundations of constitutional democracy. For where justice is accessible and effective, the sovereignty of the people is vindicated, and the rule of law reigns secure. With these reflections, I welcome you once again to this gathering. May our deliberations be insightful, our outcomes transformative, and our collective resolve unshaken, to administer justice with courage, clarity, and compassion for the enduring good of our republic and the sovereign people in whose name we serve. I thank you.
My lords and ladies of the Court of Appeal and the High Court, your honors and worships, Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, President of the Ghana Bar Association, Mrs. Ifwagati, the Acting Director of the Ghana School of Law, Professor Raymond Atuguba, Deputy Attorney General, invited guests, friends from the various media houses, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure as the President of the Association to welcome you all to this 44th Annual Conference of the Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana. In giving this report, I have to state at the beginning that, as you are all aware, since our last AGM in October 2024, there has been a change, and it should be part of my report, at the top of the judiciary, of which all of us here are members. As we all know, the President, acting on the recommendation of the committee he set up under Article 146 of the Constitution, following petitions submitted to him, and acting on the report of the said committee, removed the Chief Justice Gertrude Saba Sakitokonu from office for stated misbehavior. As a result, even pending that, we have the acting Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafuboni, who has now actually been nominated as the Chief Justice by His Excellency the President. I hereby, therefore, my Lord, the Acting Chief Justice, welcome you formally to your first official activity with the Association as the Chief Justice and patron of the Association, and I hereby duly welcome you. Yes. Indeed, everybody here is new. The Attorney General is also at his first annual general meeting of this association. Honorable Attorney General, you are also welcome. And Mrs. Ifwagati is also at her first general meeting of this association. You are also welcome. I also see that there are some of our retired senior colleagues who are here, and we are happy that you continually join us. I even saw my Lady Henrietta Aban dragging herself here. It shows the importance she attaches. My lady, we are pleased to see you, to see my lady Arin Labi, everybody else who is here. My lady Amjg, we are happy to see you, all of you, joining us for this function. Since the last AGM, the association has lost the following members: some very active judges, others retired. Justice Sule Badebe, retired Justice of the Supreme Court. His Lordship Justice Chunubu Akudua, retired Justice of the Court of Appeal. Her Ladyship Justice Rita Ajimambudu, who was just due to retire this month and who passed on so suddenly. Justice Rita Ajimambudu, and incidentally the president of the, what I call the women's wing of the Association, International Association of Women Judges. We also remember Her Honor Yvonne Wusa, Seki Court Judge, and Her Worship Molly Portia and Afo Salia. Your Ladyship, the Chairperson, my Lord, the Acting Chief Justice, my lords and ladies, and those on everybody on the high table, may we please rise to observe a minute's silence for our departed colleagues.
On behalf of the Ghana Bar Association, I extend our warmest fraternal greetings and heartfelt congratulations on the occasion of your 44th annual conference. This gathering is more than a tradition. It is a sacred pause for reflection, a time to consider your high calling, your solemn charge, and the trust our nation places upon your shoulders. It affords you the opportunity to evaluate, recalibrate, and adopt some of the developing technological trends and how it can enhance the justice delivery system. Your role as judges and magistrates is therefore indispensable. You are the conscience keepers of the nation, guardians who ensure that truth is not drowned out by power and that fairness is not silenced by convenience. Where you act with courage and integrity, public trust deepens, and Ghana's moral foundations are strengthened before the world. Given the fact that in November 2024, at the Chief Justices Forum in Accra in the Western region of Ghana, the theme was building the pillars of justice through leadership, innovation, and technology. And this year, your theme for this year's conference is leveraging technology to enhance justice delivery. This is ample evidence that technology is now unavoidable. Therefore, it ought to be embraced by all to make justice delivery easier and more accessible. At the said forum, the bar participated fully and made its input accordingly. Whilst applauding the e-justice system, the virtual courts, and other interventions made by virtue of technology, the bar requested that technology be utilized to simplify the assignment of cases and the automatic recording of court proceedings to cut down on the time, the workload of the scopists and expedite the production of the proceedings. The bar has also expressed interest in the court alert system, which would give stakeholders notice should there be a change in the court schedules. We trust that funding models will be explored for the sustainability of these systems. With the use of technology comes the growing reliance on artificial intelligence and the need to verify the authenticity of some of our legal authorities urged upon you. Whilst embarking on this evaluation exercise, do us also proud by ensuring that our justice delivery system is undergirded by the time-honored principles of accountability, transparency, openness, and accessibility. These are the indices used by the World Justice Project in ranking the justice delivery system of countries in respect of its adherence to the rule of law. A high ranking on the rule of law index is a huge attraction to the business community, foreign investors, tourists, and the international community at large. Currently, Ghana is ranked 62nd globally, 7th out of 34 in the sub-Saharan Africa, and third among 38 lower middle income countries, maintaining an overall score of 0.55. Ultimately, let us aim not merely for a score, but for a system that is the pride of Africa and a beacon for the world. And so I ask, when history turns its pages, may it be said of you that you stood firm and you did not falter, that you leaned not on the arm of flesh, but on the sustaining grace of God. For in the stillness of conscience, each judge finds not only accountability, but also wisdom and strength from the eternal judge who called you for a time such as this. May this conference rekindle in you not only the skills of your profession, but also the fire for your vocation. May the spirit of wisdom clothe you with humility, gird you with courage, and guide you with truth. I close with the stirring words of George Duffield from the third stanza of the Methodist hymn 821, which reads, stand up for Jesus. Stand in his strength alone. The arm of flesh will fail you. Ye dare not trust your own. Put on the gospel armor and watching unto prayer. Where duty calls or danger, be never wanting there. We, the Ghana Bar Association, commend your labors and pray that this conference will bear rich fruits in wisdom, courage, and a renewed dedication to the sacred cause of justice. Congratulations once again. Thank you.
From the Ghana School of Law. And I bring you 3 brief goodwill messages today. The first is that being a judge makes you a mini-god. There is only one ultimate judge for the world. That judge is Odumankuma Nyankopɔn. Now winning Sofara. Odumankuma Nyankopɔn, Nyawuni Sofara. I'm mixing the mother tongues of the Chief Justice and the Attorney General. But Odumankuma does not come down from heaven to administer justice on earth. And so he has mini-gods called judges, as the GBA president just said, who administer justice on earth on his behalf. The day you forget your role as a mini-god, as a co-participant with God in the administration of justice on earth, that day you lose your essence as a judge. My second goodwill message is this. We all know, as the theme of your annual meeting suggests, that we need to leverage technology to enhance justice delivery. This immediately implicates changes in attitudes, skills, knowledge, and the intuitive recognition that we need to move forward with technology-driven systems of justice. But let us remember that sometimes responding to change involves stepping back, not moving forward. For example, the use of technology must start from the faculties if justice delivery is to be hinged on it. And the use of technology must animate the entire body of court rules, not be overlaid on it. Now to my third and last goodwill message. And that message is this: that we need to return to the authentic and true meaning of the words law, justice, and honor. Today, there is growing concern that what lawyers and judges put into the court's crucible is not law, but something else. There is growing concern that what the courts serve from the crucible is not justice, but something else. And that the profession is no longer honorable. We badly need to work on these concerns with utmost urgency. As I have said before, the day we lose the trust of the people, from whom our Constitution says justice emanates, that day we lose our essence, and that day we perish in substance. Although the forms of our wigs and flashy clothes and posh cars will live on as mere forms. Madam Chairperson, my Lord the Chief Justice, Honorable Minister for Justice and Attorney General and his deputy, the President of the Ghana Bar, the Executive Council and members of the Association of Magistrates and Judges, I thank you for your attention, for your patience in enduring me, and may Odumankuma Nyankupong Nangwini Sofara continue to bless the Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana